guys, it's Dawn. Welcome back to my channel. So as we left off from the previous video, we've already cleaned this hardware and now we're just going to spray paint it in this satin black that'll make it look like brand new hardware. I got this ceramic tile insulation kit and the mortar all from Floor & Decor, same place we got our tile, and my uncle already had this mixer, so I'm just following the instructions on the pack very loosely. You want like a loose peanut butter consistency, so easily spreadable but not too runny. So just keep mixing, adding water, adding more mortar until you get the consistency that you like. These are all the tools I used, and here I'm just spreading on the mortar, and then I go back and smooth it out with the trowel. The lines are supposed to help grab onto the tile so they stay secure to the wall, and then I just take a block of wood and a mallet to tap it in so again it's nice and secure to the wall. This was my very first time doing tile, and I feel like it's easier than some people may think. I think these mosaic tiles, especially rectangle ones like these, are pretty easy, but I did learn some things that will definitely make my next time tiling smoother.
Okay, so this is how far I've gotten. Like, I am so freaking proud of myself. For under the stove, I just have a thin board about the depth about the depth of my tiles. You can use something bigger. You can pretty much use just about anything. It just has to be thicker than your tiles, and just cut it the width of your stove. And then we're just lining this up with the counters just so it'll support the tiles. If not, then gravity will gradually have them falling. I know this from personal experience because one of my apartments, this happened. The tiles were falling behind the stove and I thought there was something in my apartment. That was better. Okay, and then now we're just going to continue adding the tiles per usual. Slather our mortar on, put the tiles, and thankfully I only have one outlet left. Woo! So I shouldn't have to do much cutting. I've also switched to using this kind of spackling. It's really a paint scraper from the Dollar Tree, I think, instead of this one, because it's easier to get it out of the bucket. I do use this for like certain corners, but for the most part, I like this better. We've placed all the bottom tiles. I'm just going to do a kind of a rough measurement. This is about 8.5 inches, and then measure that on my tile, making sure the same colors aren't matching up together. And then I'm going to cut on the tile right below it, so I can just go ahead and place that on the wall, and then we'll go back in and cut and piece the other ones together. Or I may use smaller tiles from up here, just depending on how big the space is. Like this one, I probably could use like this size instead. Over here here. I just need to cut off a little bit of all of these tiles to fit in this spot. So I'm going to use my glass cutter. That fits. Whenever I'm putting one tile in, I've been going back and just putting a little mortar on that individual tile. Actually, a lot of mortar. Just to make sure it sticks, since it doesn't have like other things to hold on to. And now I'm just playing pretty much like, I guess Tetris, and finding pieces that fit into the open spaces. This helps me not having to cut as many pieces. And bam! Just gonna go back in with my little block and make sure. And then we're just gonna finish that across, and then grout is up next. So don't be like me. Don't forget to loosen your outlets so they sit on top of your tile. I don't know what I was thinking, because even in the video that I watched, he mentioned loosening your outlets, and look at me completely forgetting. So hopefully I can get these out without damaging my handiwork. And we fixed it. So this is what we are looking like all over. Oh my gosh! It looks so good. It looks so good. Okay, so I'm gonna eat, and then this probably won't even be in the video, so let me shut up.
Okay, for the grout, we're gonna mix it pretty much the same as we mixed the mortar. You want a nice smooth consistency, somewhat thick but not too runny. And then you're going to use the grout float to press it into all of the spaces between the tile. As you can see, I also used that same paint scraper, which was like my best friend throughout this tiling process. And then after you've done a section, then you want to come back and wipe off the excess, first with the trowel, but then with a wet sponge, which you'll see me do soon.
So I just use extra towels to hold the glass in place, and this is what it looks like dry. I would think the cloth would really hold it in place, but the tutorial I watched also added these, I am so nervous about securing these down. Like, Lord, please let me not break this glass. So I did one door. So let me show you how I did it.
Wow!
I had the idea to add this same trim along the ceiling of these counter extensions versus having to go up and do all those touch-ups that no one wants to do. So we have to get that cutted, painted, and applied, and I would use that same silicone adhesive.
This was my first time putting in a light fixture, and I definitely thought it was easier than what it ended up being. But the main issue was that the ceiling thickness was twice as what a normal ceiling thickness is, and the junction box was in between the two pieces of sheetrock because we put a piece over to cover the popcorn ceiling.
Clip, take out all the struggle. Oh, we did it.
Ew.
Hold up, what is power drill? Can I see the power drill? I'm about to screw all this.
Okay, which one is the power drill? Which one is the power drill? Oh, Lord. Look at all these accomplishments you are doing this week. This is you. This is you. This is you. This girl, Lord, you better work through her.
Okay, before we get to the final reveal, this is where we started with. I really can't believe the transformation. And I think in the next video, I'm also going to include some things I wish I had done differently or had added now that I feel like I'm a more experienced designer. But let me know what you think down below. Make sure you like and comment and subscribe so you can see how we did these amazing countertops.
Today, the final step, the icing on the cake, is to redo the countertops. So we're using the Gianni